Hello again. This is Foghorn with another installment of Flight School Academics for this, the 8th of March, 2955 or 2025. If you're stuck in the past, this presentation is part of an ongoing series of academics from members of the Aurora Republic, the premier role-playing organization in Star Citizen. If you're new to the Aurora Republic or visiting for the first time, let me start by saying welcome. Glad to have you with us. Love to hear from you if you're interested in hearing more from us. We'll offer good organization focused on role-play, exploration, social interaction, and are currently active in recruiting on Spectrum and Discord. All right. Tonight's academics will be pretty quick. This is damage types. Basically, nothing has really changed since we reviewed this last year, around this time last year. So the damage types, as they have been described in the documents and have been what CIG has been building to, there's 5 different types of damage with three subtypes. The 5 types of damage that your person or any piece of equipment, including your spaceships, could be subject to are chemical, electrical, kinetic, radiant, and thermal. With the types or real world sort of examples of what kind of damaging items would be within those particular types is listed out there, as you can see on the screen. They have, obviously, kinetic is already in the game. Electrical is coming into the game with the Volt weapons. And they have been talking about adding in radiation as well here in the next patch or two. So those things are coming. And then chemical and thermal, I imagine we will see farther off into the future. Subtypes within those is distortion, radiation, and stun. Distortion obviously exists in the game now, where distortion weapons don't actually do a lot of physical damage to your spacecraft or your suit systems or anything like that, but they sort of pseudo EMP them so that they are impaired and can be knocked offline. It's a little bit easier to get a soft death with using a distortion weapon on a target if you don't want to hard kill. Like if you want to perhaps loot the ship or board it in some way, then distortion's probably the better way to go if you're trying to knock them offline. Stun obviously is really more for the player character in first person. And then, like I said, I already mentioned that radiation is coming in the future. So ammunition types, there is multiple damage types are possible off of a single piece of ammunition. So obviously ballistic ammo gives kinetic, the Electron, which is your Volt weapons that are coming in here in, I think, 4.1. Gives both electrical and distortion and stun. Distortion to equipment, stun to the person. Laser already exists. Those give thermal and radiant, and then plasma will be something in the future as well. So that's a very quick and dirty of the damage types and basically what is what when it comes to that sort of stuff that they've been building in and is planned to build in the future for some of them. Right now, and this has been this way for years, this will change at some point in the future because they have told us this, in their design documents and in their SCLs and ISCs and stuff like that. But right now, all armor mitigation is basically flat. So whatever it says the protection of that armor is, it gives the same level of protection across all different damage types right now as it sits. So in the future, though, different armor will have different goodness and badness against different armor types, so that you can sort of custom equip stuff based on what you think you're going to run into. But that is a future capability right now. Same mitigation for all damage types. As far as when you're shooting, the only environmental effect, even to this day, that is accounted for is bullet drop, but not things like windage. So you do have to aim high with range, but if you have a big crosswind, you do not need to aim upwind. You just only have to account for bullet drop, gravity drop over distance. And all the ammunition has their damage values and types are set. And the damage is calculated on the target after all the mitigations are factored in. So that may change in the future, particularly when certain damage types go past whatever armor. Like if the armor in the future is only good against kinetic, but it's not against laser, then obviously that will, when that changes in the future, then that particular characteristic of how ammunition works will also change at the same time when they do that. So any questions?
Would blunt force trauma, would that be more or less considered kinetic damage?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's the plan.
That people can take damage from, say, objects moving. You know, if you've got a box with a tractor beam, smack somebody with it, they're going to take damage.
Yes. That's the intent for the future. Now, I don't know exactly how much blunt force trauma is being calculated in the game as it stands now, but I'm sure that's something that they're, you know, going to take into account in the future. I mean, we can get hit by things, you know, rocks and crates and things falling on you as it is now. So
the only reason I bring it up is because it's on my mind, because a little while ago I picked up a crime stat for negligent homicide of moving around a body. You know, he was already dead, but evidently it coded it. The law system coded it as him still alive for some reason. And when I smacked the body into something, I got a charge.
Obviously a glitch.
Well, yes. Welcome to Alpha.
Yep. All right. Any other questions? That wraps up this installment of Academics of Foghorn. Hope you found it interesting and helpful. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, please feel free to contact me via email, Discord, Spectrum, or of course, comment section below if you're watching this later on. So to the best of my abilities, and as soon as I see it, please hit those follows and subscribe buttons as appropriate. Comment your comments in the comments. We're always striving to improve our content. If you can find out more about the Aurora Republic at our bespoke website, aurorarepublic.space. Or, of course, on the less bespoke Spectrum from robertspaceindustriescom/org/Aurora. See you next time. Foghorn signing off. Wishing you a very pleasant remainder of your morning, afternoon, or evening. And thank you so very much for watching.